the question came in on one of my posts where I'm talking about how I transformed, how I lost over 60 pounds, like what really works and what doesn't, and the strategies that I implemented. And one of the things that I touched upon was in that video, and if you haven't seen it, you can go and watch it, was emotional eating and stress eating. I talked briefly about that and how when I addressed that, I saw a lot of results, like weight started to come off. And so I think that a lot of, just a typical fitness trainer who doesn't have the schooling that I have and the experience that I have, because I have a master's degree in education. I was a school psychologist for almost a decade. I also worked in the mental health field, a lot of experience in this area. And you cannot separate the emotional piece from the physical piece. So if you're trying to lose weight and you're not looking at how food plays a role in your emotional life, you may find yourself right back to the weight gain. Like if you're just gonna go and try to do a workout program without addressing the emotional piece, okay? It's that important for long-term sustainable results. So the question on the video was, how did you stop emotional eating? And so I love that question because here's the first thing. There is no one way to do it, right? There's many paths to wellness. There is no one, magic thing that's going to eliminate all your stresses or all your difficulties, all your challenges. It's a process, it's a journey. And one of the things that I can share with you that's super key is to get curious rather than critical about your own behaviors. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Get curious rather than critical about your behaviors. So instead of, oh, I can't believe I ate that whole carton of ice cream again. What's wrong with me? Why am I doing this again? My pants don't fit, but I'm still doing it. Why am I doing it? Okay, that's critical. That's the critical voice. That gets you nowhere. That keeps you stuck in the chains, right? In the jail. The curious voice says this: God, Lydia, you weren't even hungry, but you started to eat the ice cream. What was up with that? Like, why did you go into the kitchen, right? What were you really feeling? That's the curious voice. And the curious voice is going to, you ready? Is going to get answers. Because if you do enough self-inquiry, you're going to gain self-awareness, okay? So one of the things that I learned about myself through that process of self-inquiry was like, if I start eating sugar in the morning, you know what starts to happen? I want sugar all day. Figure out what your triggers are. So if you're, setting yourself up, like your schedule is just jam-packed with like stressful things all day long, and then you're coming home and you are not taking anything to decompress, meaning like a meditation break, a yoga class, talking to a friend, you're not doing anything to address that tension, that stress, you might just go and be triggered and go back to what you do, which is emotional eating, right? Because you're looking for the food to give you the comfort. But here's the thing, you can get comfort somewhere else. You can, and you're gonna feel a lot better when you learn that for yourself. For me, at bedtime now, I fast 3 hours before I go to bed, like I'm not eating. And I've created a bedtime routine for myself that has supplemented that same comfort that I thought I was getting from the food. I now have like a candlelit bath with like really relaxing music, and it's a vibe. Like, I look forward to it. It's such a vibe. It's so fulfilling. It's so restorative. I wouldn't trade that for like a box of Oreos. Like, they don't even compare. They're not even in the same ballpark, right? Because one is so healing and so restorative and doesn't leave me wanting more cookies, right? So then the last tip that I'll give is, as far as emotional eating, is if you need to go and seek professional help for it, do it, right? There's no shame in that. There's many paths to it. Like some people, start meditating. Some people join religious groups. Some people go to therapy for years. Like there's no cookie cutter approach. And so say emotional eating is something you've been struggling with, but you've tried one type of therapy and that hasn't worked. That doesn't mean that there's no hope, right? It just means that maybe that wasn't the right fit for you.